and fetch him out. I know for a fact if you've got a big old wise fish on now, just starting to rain again. That was shit. That was a shit cast. There we go, that's better. Right in there. Yeah, if you've got a fish in there, he goes straight in here. All these snags and shit. So you've got to have your clutch. Got to have your clutch up tight. Because if you get a fish on there, you've got to give him some hammer to stop him getting into them roots. Otherwise, oh, nice one. It's starting to rain. I've just left my hat upside down, so there's a geese shit everywhere. So what I want to do now, yeah, I've left my hat upside down. It's fucking starting raining, so I'll have a wet hat. It's not bad though, because it's fucking red hot anyway. So what I'm doing now is I've cast in there. I'll show you now, look, how to get line out without moving your rod, without casting. Let the river, use the flow of the river. See, my line's right down there now underneath that willow. And I'll gently bring it back in like this. Oh, we're on a snag, motherfucker. No, he's come out, that's all right. But now I know there's weed down there. Just checking my fly's still on there, which he is. It's not that deep here. I had a 12-pound pike out of there a few years ago. No, last year actually. So that beach I was on just is just round the corner there. You can see. Yeah, it's just round that corner. This rain's quite nice actually, because it is stiflingly hot. So let me see. I'm just going to check this fly because I've got it stuck in something, and make sure we've got no weed. It's pretty cool, look, no weed on it and nothing. So we'll do it. That's just a false cast. Don't worry about all this. Let the river take it if it wants. And then what I want to do, so if you watch from the start, off that beach to the right of me where I was fishing is the slow water, and that is where I'm casting into now. But it's not that deep there. So as soon as it hits the surface, I'm going to start retrieving, which I'm doing now. But I need my waders really to get in this bit so I can fish where that trout was jumping, and he sounded like a good fish and all. He's made a fair old splash. So I'll come down tomorrow maybe. There you go, that's a bit better. We'll just let some line out. Use the river, look. Let some line out like that, and use the flow of the river to take your fly downstream. And it doesn't matter if you can cast. When you're river fishing, it doesn't matter if you can cast 2 yards, 30 yards. Makes no odds whatsoever, because I'm going to drop it in here now, look. Just there. Oh no, we're in the tree. Motherfucker. That didn't work well for the video. Right. Now, the willow trees are a bit stronger. I'm not going to bullshit and cut this out. So the willow trees are a bit stronger than the streamer weed. So I'm going to just turn my back to it. Glasses on still. Turn my back to it so it's all tight, because you don't want to be pulling that and it comes and thrashes you in the face. Oh, it's just hit me on the back, whatever. I don't know, I think it's took my fly off. I was being a bit clever there, trying to get too close to them willows, and I didn't need to. But you live and learn. Right. So I'll just sort this bit of a mess out. And what I'll do actually, if it has snapped it off, yeah, he has. There's a fly up there in the. Look at all this shit here. This is Canadian geese. There's my hat, look. Piss wet through. Right, I'll leave my rod there for a second. I'll make this treacherous journey back to my bag. So we'll come back to the bag. I might as well take this down here a bit. I'll take it down here a bit. The old shebango. And we'll go back to the rod and I can show you. I'm going to put a fly on. I'll show you how to tie him on actually, if I can. So stick my bag there, my stick there. Here we go. In the bag, bosh. Let me show you. I've got thousands of flies in this bag. But normally I wouldn't bring the bag. So what I want to use, I've just got to put my glasses on because I can't see shit anymore. Don't get old, people. If you're young and watching this, do not get old. It's no fun. Right, so I want a lure of some sort. There's not enough rises at the moment, but I know like something like that works well. Black ones work well. I don't know all the names of them. I haven't got the brain capacity to fit all that in with all the fucking knowledge I've got of everything else. That looks like a belter, but I've not used that yet. So what I'm going to do, oh actually, I'm going to try this. A little bit of green in it. I know the fish in this river love a bit of green, mate. I don't mean weed either. So I'll show you now if I'm using the camera correctly. Right, see, I've got a knot there, so we'll cut that knot off. I bit it off actually because I'm a warrior. Just check for any other knots. We haven't got a massive leader on, you don't need one in the river. About 8 foot max, that'll do you. On the reses and stuff, bit longer. I'll explain that to you. So we'll stick him through there, and this is just a half blood knot. So you make a loop, you go round 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 will do it. And this is important, you always wet it. So you wet it all, and you come back through your loop, and then pull it tight. Don't hook yourself like a mong. Pull it tight, job's a good one. And all the spare, I have got some scissors, so all the spare line I'll probably be able to show you. All this, look, it all goes back home with me. And even when I put it in the bin, I cut it into tiny little pieces. Tiny little pieces, because it's horrendous stuff. If you leave line out for nature to get caught up in, you're a cunt. Because it's like them swans. If I leave line down here, them swans get it wrapped around the feet, whatever, round the mouths. They can't eat. There's no way of getting it off. It doesn't rot away. Some lines do now, I think. I know hooks do. So if you catch a fish and it gets snapped off, and the hook, rather than the fish cruising about all its life with a hook in its mouth, the hooks after a length of time will break down in the water, which is a fantastic idea. But the things aren't like that yet. I don't think there's any lines. There might be, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, or don't, because I don't really give a shit if I'm wrong. So I've come back to the top of the pool because I've got a different fly on and I know there's fish in here. So we'll give this fly a whirl and we'll use the river like I've done before to make that fly dance about. So we'll go to the right, and the fly will go to the right, and we'll straighten up and we'll go to the left, and you'll watch that line move across slowly, but it means we're covering a line at the same distance away from I am now. And then another trick you can do, keep your rod tip down, your fly will fish deeper in the water if you fish in a deeper pool. You lift the rod tip up, the fly comes up in the water. So I want to get across there, look, in that fast flow. There we go. We'll try and keep it off this streamer weed. Here we go. Oh, I don't know if that was a take or not. No, it's on that weed over there, which isn't a problem, but it just felt like a take. So I've cast too far, so I've just dragged some line back in and I'll try again. There we go. Just keep mending the line above that streamer weed. There we go, it's freed itself up. And now he's in that fast flow, and I can start letting a bit more line out. And we'll go in left. And then we'll go right. See, if I've got my waders, I could go right in the centre of the river here and fish the whole lot. But I ain't fucking got them, because I weren't coming for that long. But I do love it down here. So I might end up staying for a bit. But I'd love to catch a fish for you, so I can prove to you that I'm not full of shit. Because I've had loads of trout out of this river. And pike and chub and grayling, but there's no rise at the moment. Oh, fucked that up completely. There we go, the river brought it round for me, helped me out there. So now we're doing the same again. We'll go left, and we'll go right. If you feel a nudge, sometimes they're ever so gentle, a little nudge, just yank the line, because that stirs up the aggression in the fish and they'll come and nail it. And there's no such thing, no such feeling, but when you've got a trout and it nails your fly at top speed, it'll rip the rod. Not holding your rod correctly, it'll rip it straight out of your hand, and any fly fisherman will tell you that. But I do coarse fish as well, and I'll do some videos on that further down the line, and I can show you different techniques that I use. People use their own techniques, different techniques, but the ones that have been successful for me, I'll share those with you for free. How's that for a deal? But it's no good having all this knowledge and biting the dust and taking it with you, and that's why my eldest lad Alfie is a very keen fisherman and a country sports fella as well. He loves a bit of lamping, ferreting, shooting, pigeon shooting, crow shooting. So we're just doing the same thing. I'm just working the pool, we'll go out there, look, see how strong the flow is on the river. So I also feeder fish this river, which I'll tell you more about when I come feeder fishing. So I'm just reaching out now so I can get the fly right over the other side. and we'll let him down a bit, let a bit more line out so we can work it a bit lower, a bit further away from me. But you just keep an eye on that line. If it does anything abnormal other than the flow of the river, or you feel a nudge, and just give it a yank like that, and I'll guarantee you, I'll guarantee you, if it was a fish, you've got a fight on your hands. So I'm just going to go down a bit lower. I'm just going to fish this pool now to where I was before, near that willow that nicked the fly off me, the bastard. Owes me £1, £1.20 or whatever the fuck they are. But so I'm just going over that side there, because there's some streamer weed there. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but that is a beautiful place for a fish to chill out. And I'll use the streamer weed because they don't have to fight the current as much. And when a bit of grub comes by, or my fly, they'll dive out and ambush it. Hopefully my fly, we shall see. So I'm just going to mend the line there. So I'm fishing now. Well, you've probably noticed I've not really had to cast too far, and I've got, so we'll just let a bit more out, look. So we're fishing all them different layers, levels away from me, and it's like grid lining everywhere. So if there's a trout knocking about anywhere in this river, my fly is going to go near it at some point, and they will nail it just out of, they're quite spiteful, territorial animals, so they'll nail it just out of spite, even if they're not hungry. I'll bring him up in that shallow water. This sun is melting my back, so I'm not going to stay too much longer, it's just too hot. But I might come down later. That's right in where I wanted it, in that eddy. Oh, yeah, I might come down later, because as it cools off, flies tend to hatch, and the trout, they don't like the bright sunshine, and that's why I'm fishing a lure rather than a dry fly. They don't like the bright sunshine, so as the sun starts to drop and it gets a bit cooler, if there's a hatch on, this is when the trout come out to play. So they'll come out and start nailing all these different flies that are hatching. And the trick is to match whatever's hatching, and I'll show you that later if I can. So I want the current, it's just in the slack water there, but I want the current to take my fly. So I'm going to try in that eddy again, opposite me. So that's right in the eddy. It's not actually far enough, so let me get right in there. There could be a big pike in there, there could be whatever, but if it's a pike he'll probably just bite me off, unless I'm lucky. So I'm back where I was when I lost that fly. See all these damselflies knocking about. Beautiful sight to see. Right, so what I want to do is get in where I was before, but obviously not in the fucking tree. Right. I think there's weed down there because it's not actually taking it.